The Street Johns Chronicles. A narrative expansion of romantic suspense, forensic intrigue, and the K9 Bond. The atmosphere of Street Johns, Newfoundland, is often defined by its contradictions. The vibrant, neon-hued jelly bean houses, clinging to steep hillsides against a backdrop of the cold, unrelenting North Atlantic. It is a city where history is carved into the narrow, criss-crossing streets by horse and carriage. Yet it serves as the stage for contemporary, high-stakes criminal intrigue. For the Major Crimes Division of the Street Johns Police Department, the setting is more than just a backdrop. It is a living entity that dictates the rhythm of their investigations and the depth of their personal tragedies. The transition into the most recent era of the department was marked by a profound void left by the unconfirmed death of Detective Charlie Hudson, who vanished in the jungles of Central America while searching for his brother, Jack. This loss shattered the telepathic bond between Hudson and his canine partner Rex, and left Chief of Forensics Sarah Truong in a state of sleepwalking grief. Into this landscape of mourning and mist stepped Detective Mark Hodson, a tactical operative with a military background and a trailer by the lake, whose shared surname with his predecessor felt to the public like a factory reset of a beloved legend. The silent witness and the law of professional betrayal. The first case to test the mettle of this restructured team began with the abduction of Megan Schaefer, a young, high-achieving lawyer at Wilkins Law. The crime occurred with clinical precision. Megan was snatched off the street and forced into a van, a depreciating asset in a larger scheme of extortion and silence. The investigation initially stalled due to a lack of verbal testimony, as the only witness was a 12-year-old boy named Brian, who lived with autism and had been traumatized into silence by the event. Brian's mother, Emma, provided the key to the investigation, explaining that her son possessed a hyper-realistic memory and communicated through intricate drawings that functioned with the accuracy of a photograph. Rex's role in this investigation transcended the typical duties of a law enforcement animal. Drawing on the trope of the K9 as a healer and calming force, Rex was able to connect with Brian when human investigators were seen as threats. This connection allowed Brian to process his trauma and produce a detailed sketch of the abductor, which fundamentally altered the investigative trajectory. Forensic audit of the Schaefer abduction. The primary suspect was initially Jamie Bright, Megan's recently estranged boyfriend and a colleague at the firm. The motive appeared ironclad. Jamie had been suspended for massive irregularities in the firm's escrow accounts and was presumed to have kidnapped Megan to secure a $2 million ransom to cover his thefts. However, the tactical analysis performed by Detective Jesse Mills and the forensic team revealed a deeper, more sinister pattern. Investigative focal point. Findings implication. Van GPS tracking. Located at a commercial laundry on Drovers Road. The vehicle was abandoned, indicating a transfer of the victim. Primary suspect status: Jamie Bright, discovered deceased in the van. The suspect was actually a victim of a professional hit. Weaponry, method: single stab wound with chromium shards points to an N. Industrial or chop shop environment. Witness reliability: Brian's drawing matched a professional criminal. Jamie was a scapegoat. The mastermind was still at large. The second-order insight derived from this discovery was that Jamie's suspension had been a calculated move by Todd, the head of the firm. Todd had embezzled the funds himself and used the kidnapping as a dual-purpose tool to frame Jamie for the financial crimes and to eliminate Megan before she could testify regarding the irregularities she had discovered. The use of Earl Blackburn, a hardened criminal with ties to high-end chop shops, demonstrated the unholy alliance between white-collar greed and street-level brutality. The resolution of the case, involving a high-stakes drop at the Forest Road Cemetery, emphasized the theme of professional betrayal, where the mentor figure was the true antagonist. The Golden Watch and the high-stakes yacht Homicides. The department struggled to reconcile Mark Hudson's rigid, muscle-first leadership style with the established team dynamics. The murder of Jakob Kaufmann on his yacht, Beskind, introduced a new layer of complexity. Kaufman, a reviled investor from Toronto, was found pinned to his deck by a spear gun. A crime scene that initially suggested a caper or a disorganized act of rage. The primary suspect was Blaine Selby, a deckhand with a criminal record who had fled the scene. However, the investigation's focus shifted when it was revealed that Kaufman's reproduction of a 1966 gold Canaveri diving watch was missing. In the era of digital assets, the watch served as the physical key to hundreds of millions of dollars in cryptocurrency, with the access code engraved inside its casing. This case highlighted the contrast between the old-school motives of the suspects and the new world technology that fueled their desperation. Suspect Matrix. The Kaufman yacht homicide. The environment of the yacht, isolated and luxurious, served as a locked-room mystery, where every individual aboard possessed a motive born of Kaufman's habitual bullying and financial dominance. Suspect connection motive investigative note Veronica. Goodwin business. Partner theft of crypto. Keys tech expert. Also 9. One side. S. and Key. Managed all of Kaufman's digital affairs. James Endicott software developer revenge for investment refusal is Waterfront AI was a labor trafficking scam. Blaine Selby deckhand crimes of opportunity fled because of his Drecourt hid the watch on the boat. Andrea Kaufman wife escape from abuse suspected of an affair with Endicott. Framed by Veronica. Mark's military precision allowed him to identify that the spear used in the murder was coated in salt water and ocean bacteria, suggesting it had been hidden in the harbor long before the crime took place. This third-order insight led the team to investigate the tour boat owned by Bill Penny, James Endicott's cousin. The shadow in the water, caught on security footage, confirmed that the killer had approached the yacht from below, bypassing traditional surveillance. The resolution revealed that Veronica Goodwin had orchestrated a misdirection scheme, sending fake texts from the widow's phone to implicate Endicott and Andrea, while she herself executed Endicott to silence him once the investigation closed in. The case served as a narrative bridge, showing Rex's ability to adapt to Mark's tactical commands, even as the team mourned the warmth of the previous administration. Of all the gin joints, botanical forensics and family legacy, where patriarch Willem Devereux was found drowned in a vat of his own spirits. The murder occurred on the eve of a monumental announcement regarding the distillery's future. A moment that had the three heirs, Jaden, Alan, and Melanie, balanced on a knife's edge of greed and resentment. The core of the mystery lay in the secret ingredient of a groundbreaking new gin recipe that Willem claimed would change the industry. Rex's keen olfactory senses were required to isolate a singular botanical note that had eluded even world-renowned critics like Simone Sawyer. Forensic analysis of botanical toxins Rex successfully identified the secret ingredient as Labrador tea, Rhododendron greenlandicum, a plant native to the island that possesses both aromatic appeal and latent toxicity if concentrated. Substance scientific, context forensic, significance Labrador, tea native, botanical, used in teas and skincare, identified by Rex in the master distiller's lab and the victim's new gin. Tetrazoline active ingredient in eye drops. Tasteless toxin used to poison Simone Sawyer to frame the CFO, Jaden. Congestive heart failure Willem's secret medical prognosis. Motivated the change in his will, triggering the heir's rage. The investigation moved beyond the surface-level motive of inheritance. Willem had discovered that Jaden, the CFO, was negotiating a secret buyout with a Japanese conglomerate, a move that Willem considered a betrayal of the family legacy. However, the physical evidence pointed to a more chaotic resolution. Alan had struck his father in a moment of rage, but it was Melanie, the estranged daughter, who had discovered the unconscious Willem and finished the job by drowning him. She believed her father had stolen her idea for using Labrador tea in spirits and intended to cut her out of the new will. This multi-layered crime demonstrated how the environment of the distillery, steeped in tradition and salt air, acted as a pressure cooker for familial resentment. Into the wilds. The assassin, and the tactical stand.